So I'm going to go ahead and get started since I'm just doing the introduction. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening, spending your time with us. My name is Ashley Jones and I am with the group called Wholistic-ally. And we have been putting on this healing series. This is our third event since September that we've been doing. And basically, it's a part of a virtual series that me and a few of my friends decided to get together to host based on a need that we saw. And so, some of the goals that we have as a group, as the Holistically group, is to just heal and strengthen the Black community as a whole across some of these borders that we have, physically, especially with this year's pandemic. Um, but we also want to strengthen the community as we have all of these events, strengthen ties within the community across, states and time zones and all of those things, and really showcase some of the experts and healers that we already have within our community. So that's just a little bit about what we're doing. If you want to follow us or and what uh, you see here today, you like it and you want to participate in future events, just feel free to follow some of us online. We have a website and all of those things, but that's enough about me and us and what we are doing. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the two lovely ladies that will be conducting today's breakout sessions. So we have Bria Buffalo and Ebony Black. Um, Both of them are women that I am grateful to know that I have become friends with over my years here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, first, Ebony, she is a wellness practitioner. She has over 5 years of experience as a mental health therapist. And through her experience in that field, she wanted to expand mental health options for all of her clients and has begun offering specific services that include breathing, body movement, art, and sound. And she will be presenting the sound healing experience as a part of her breakout session today. And second, we have Bria, who is a self-proclaimed soul healer and owner of Musa Moon here in Charlotte, which is an herbal apothecary and spiritual healing store. She has based this business on her personal experiences with health and wellness and created Musa Moon with the purpose of providing alternative medicinal options to those who are seeking knowledge of self-healing. And so Musa Moon provides products that help with healing from the inside out. So Bria will not only be leading the Peace Party breakout session, but she will also be leading our introductory discussion on the importance of spiritualness and of dispelling myths about spirituality as a community. So, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Bria. But before I do that, I just want to remind everyone, in case you didn't get the email about suggestions for preparing for whichever breakout session you're in. So, those who will be doing the sound healing with Ebony, she asks that you find a quiet space if you can and a speaker or headphones to hear at the best quality, and feel free to bring a pillow or blanket just to make sure this is the most restorative um, experience as possible. And then for the peace party with Bria, she asks that you bring your favorite journal or sheets of paper and a pen. You can bring colorful markers if you'd like, a cup of tea and or water. You can also bring crystals if you have those on hand, and just an open heart and an open mind. So with all that said, thank you all again for joining, and I am going to turn it over to Bria.
Everyone. Can you hear me good? My sound okay? Yes? Okay, cool. So, welcome everybody. I'm so excited to share this space with you. I'm going to be talking about spirituality and no matter where you are in the journey, but I just first want to just say something that's important to me is understanding that you do not have to break up with your religion in order to be spiritual. So, understanding that your spirituality is your own personal experience, it's your own personal relationship with yourself. So, in comparison, if there is even a comparison to religion and spirituality, in my experiences, where religion, you're kind of taught how to worship, right? You're taught what to do. It's something, a lot of times it's traditions, it's been passed on from family and generations. So when you come to spirituality, it's more of what you adapt to be you. So you still can have your relationship with God, you still can have your relationship with your higher source and your relationship with self. So I just trust that you guys will come today with an extreme open mind and an open heart. A first point that I wanted to express is that spirituality isn't a one size fit all. So, releasing your comparison, there's not one person that is possible to be more spiritual than anyone else. My journey, we might have the same type of path, but our journey is different. So, we might go through some of the same experiences. However, our own purposes, our life purposes are specific to our own. So also identify, I would just say something to think about. If you're into journaling, if you have some paper or pen right now, write out for a second and identify what's important to you. And this isn't necessarily something that you'll have to answer right now. It might not even come until a week later, but just figure out what it is that is important to you within your life experience. Understanding too, there's no finish line in the journey of healing, and acceptance of self love is forever. So I think that it's a common misconception that you have to be this enlightened one, or, we're all going to reach the status of Buddha or whomever. But in reality, that journey is forever. We're forever healing. You can have the best day, you can have all of the tools, all of the healing modalities, and still wake up and be depressed tomorrow. So understanding that it changes. Things changes, experiences happen, whether your environment, whether things within family, friends, it could be foods that trigger certain things in your body. So just being open to change and realizing that this journey is forever. Understanding too that you're your best self right now. I think a lot of times, and I'm guilty as well, as realizing like, oh, I want to reach this person, as if who I am right now isn't enough. So adapting and, just accepting the truth that you are your best self. If you're not supposed to be anyone else. If you were supposed to be someone else, you will be in that position. So honoring that part of yourself, and just understanding to be present. I made a PowerPoint, but I can send it to you, Ashley, if you want to send it afterwards. So I just put a couple points on the PowerPoint. I said it's a journey of self. It's a journey of being present. So even right now, I just invite you wherever you are to kind of just to take a deep breath. Take a gentle inhale and exhale and just release. If you want to go deeper, you can breathe in for a count of 3, hold for 3, and release for a count of 7. So as you're doing a gentle inhale and exhale, it's just allowing you to kind of just being present. Notice if your feet are on the ground. How's your posture right now? Are you a little uncomfortable because this is something new for you? How are you right now? Move your body. Look how Ebony's moving. Move your neck, move your shoulders. Just like tap into your body and don't feel like you have to just be in one place. Whatever it is, maybe shake it off. Maybe something happened right before you came on this call and you're just like, I didn't really want to be here, but you might have made a commitment or something. Whatever it is, just like be present. And that's with anything in your spiritual journey. Like be in the right now so you don't have to regret things later. Understanding that seek the truth, not being afraid of asking questions, because a lot of times I would even say within religion and in, yes, you can, even in religion, it's like you can't fault your parent or fault like family members or friends, because in a lot of times they weren't taught to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If something doesn't feel good, take that deep breath like we kind of took and ground yourself, and don't be afraid to seek the truth within yourself. And incorporating self-care. What does self-care look like for you? These are all different things. So going back to like spirituality isn't a one size fit all. It can be all of these things. Maybe you can pick 2 things I'm talking about to focus on. Maybe it looks like meditating. And then releasing the discomfort in meditation. It doesn't have to be 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes. Meditating can literally be, we close our eyes and we just think about something that we're grateful for. It doesn't have to be long. Even if you fall asleep during meditation, that's still meditating. Traveling, expanding your reality, trying something new, or even inviting the idea that life exists further than what our mind can reach. Or maybe it's yoga and understanding that yoga is a physical and it's an internal practice. So maybe it's only a mental practice for you. You never actually hit the mat. Yoga can also be how you treat people. How do you treat yourself? How do you speak? What are you putting into your body? So, understanding that, again, spirituality can be what it is that you make it with your relationship with God, your prayer, your devotion, whatever that looks like. You can create that within you and your higher source and remain extremely unapologetic in it. And um, three three things to close with: relationships, values, and your purpose. So, looking at your relationships, how are you viewing yourself? What are you telling yourself? How are you loving yourself? What do you say to yourself when you look in the mirror when you wake up every day? What do you tell yourself when you look in the mirror after a long day? Are you telling yourself that you're beautiful? Are you telling yourself that you did a great job? How are you speaking to yourself, right? Externally, how do you relate to others? How do you support people? How do you allow people to support you? How are you showing up to people around you? What does your circle look like? Are you setting boundaries? Are you being unapologetic? Like, are you being like, you know what? I love you, but you're not in this journey right now. What does that look like to love from a distance? And your values. What is important to you? How do you measure your peace and the things around you? Like, are you weighing things? Are you releasing the ideas of good and bad and just accepting that things just are? And your life purpose. Why are you here? Ask yourself this. Why are you getting up right now? Why are you going to that job? Why are you existing? Because you can stay in the bed, you can do nothing, but you get up every day. So continue to ask yourself, what am I here for? And then ask yourself what feels good to you. Letting go of the connection or the habit of depriving yourself and really just coming into you. So I welcome you. I look forward to your journey and evolving within spirituality, and just release any pressures, release any needs to compare yourself to anyone, and really just journal. Like I said, what are you here for? What's important to you? And what do you need to feel connected to God the most?
All right. Thank you for that, Bria. Thank you for that great introduction. So now we are going to go into our different breakout sessions. So please enjoy the rest of this session, and we'll see you on the other side for a closing discussion and questions.
beautiful trees, blue sky, and sun bright. You notice that you have no shoes on, so you slowly start to walk through the grass. As you walk through the grass, you start to take in nature, the blue sky, and the warmth of the sun on your skin. You are safe, you are calm, and you are in peace. And now you find a comfortable spot to sit at. The sun still beaming on your skin, and the feeling of safety all around you. And now you notice a ball of light that comes to visit you. This light is a specific color, a color that is personal to you. You slowly start to hold your hands out, and the ball rests in your palm. And inside of this light, you see a word. A word that you've needed to see to encourage yourself. And now you just gently place the light down that you now can walk inside of this ball of light. You walk inside, and the minute you walk inside of this ball of light, a sense of belonging, courage, and creativity come to you. You are still safe. You are still calm. You are still in peace. You breathe in and you breathe out. You breathe in and you breathe out. What a miracle it is to feel your breath. You are safe. sit in this field of green grass, you start to think about all of those things that you are grateful for, all of the people, all of the opportunities, all of the gifts. You are now sitting in gratitude. You are safe. You are in peace. And you are calm. deserve rest. Now slowly start to come back to your body. Start to feel the foundation that you are sitting on or laying down on. Invite yourself to sit up. And we will take a moment of silence as we place our right hand on our hearts and we feel our chest rising and falling. Allow our shoulders to drop. And we're going to go from the top of the head, moving our jawbones, opening and closing our mouth to loosen up our facial muscles. Moving down to our neck, circling your head, moving your shoulders up and down or around. Moving down to your fingers, wiggling your fingers. And slowly going down to your ankles, circling your ankles. And lastly, going down to your toes, moving your toes around, wiggling your toes. And let's continue to notice the rise and fall of our breath. And we are going to slowly move into our 3-count breath, going in through the nose and out through the mouth. Starting now, in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth, in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth, Last one, in through the nose. Hold. Out through the mouth. And now just return back to your normal breathing. As we take a short silence and we take in the space. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and look around in your space. Take inventory of what's surrounding you. The ceiling, the floor, colors, shapes. And just continue to breathe slowly, gently. And lastly, before I open up the space for questions, I am going to end with 3 affirmations that I would like for you to say out loud if you're comfortable in your space. The first affirmation is I am passionate. The second affirmation is I am connected. And the last affirmation is I am still. And may these affirmations sit with you as you go through your day-to-day routines. I hope and my prayer is that this sound bath was able to bring you to a deeper sense of relaxation and calm, and it was able to help you to connect with yourself in a way that you may have not been able to. And it's just a great thing when we can connect to ourselves just by using sound. So I am done. Amen to this sound bath experience. If anybody has questions, the floor is open. I'll give about 2 minutes so that people can kind of just come back to their space, come back to what's happening in real life outside of the meditation. And I would love to have an open conversation about some things that you experienced and the different words that you saw in the guided visual meditation. So I'll give people 2 minutes before I ask if people can turn on their mics or come back on the screen. If you can, if you already have water, it would be great to drink water after something like this, um, just to keep the system going and refreshed. All right. I'm hoping that everybody is awake and up. um, but if not, that's cool too. So I would love to hear feedback from you all just about your personal experience, being that most people seems like this was their first time. And yeah, let's get into it.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say first. It's relaxing. I think I've been moving a lot all day today, so this was very much needed to kind of, I think, center myself and kind of just get myself like back to, I don't know, it's like all of a sudden I was back in the present. So that was very helpful. Um, of course, I'm like a science nerd, so in my head I'm trying to figure out exactly how everything mingles together.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely because I've been like deep in my thoughts, and so even like going to my different spaces, I think things that have been on my mind, like words that were coming to me or like spaces that I was thinking about were putting me in a place of clarity, which was helpful.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's great. That's what we want. I think that you would find a lot of information out there, articles. It's new research that's been done about like just like frequency and the relation between outside frequency and then our energy. So I feel like, yeah, I would say go for it just to see like what you find. But it's super cool. Like it's really cool because the frequencies actually have some link with like healing, like anxiety and depressive symptoms. Also, it can build the immune system by doing that. To help levels of cortisol in the body, which is the stress hormone, pretty rapidly. So that's why even me right now, I'm super relaxed, but I had to be focused. The stress hormone like just dropped significantly.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad to hear your experience. Do you mind sharing like the color of the light and then the word that came to you?
So I feel like my brain is weird. So I thought of green. I don't know if that's because it's my favorite color or if I don't know, it like that bright green really just
Mm.
I don't know,
Yeah,
something
whatever
about
is
it.
unique to you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think there's a reason why it's my favorite color. It's not just that, it's like there.
Mm.
Um, and I had different words that kept popping up. So I don't know. I like the main one is just clarity that I just kept feeling. And so that one kept coming to me over and over again. Um, Mainly because I think it embodies everything that I'm feeling in one. So um, that's pretty much me. I know, and maybe it's because again, favorite colors, but like my green will turn blue, but like it's in there, but green was the original.
Yeah, okay. I like that. I think that's great. It's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's all what your experience is. And I feel like sometimes people down the road they get clarity on the things that they saw in the visual meditation. So you may get clarity on like, oh, that's why I kept seeing that word. It's just about awareness, really. Anybody else want to share? I would love to hear feedback. experience.
I will also second that it was quite relaxing. Um, it was relaxing. Also, so I'm in an apartment right now too, so I also have like other sounds that I can't control. But it was to a point that I would recognize the other sounds and then they would fade away pretty quickly. So it was a pretty powerful um, form of relaxation that it was able to sort of remove those other elements or distractions that were there as well. Uh, the one, so there were a couple things that really got me going through this experience. One was whatever sound it was that first sounded like rain. Um, it first sounded like rain to me, and then yeah, I was like trying to think about it in my head, but I didn't want to put too much focus on what was causing the sound. So I didn't open my eyes throughout this entire thing.
Awesome.
Um, yeah, it really was powerful in keeping me still, very relaxing. So first it sounded like rain, and then that switched to like leaves rustling, and then by the end of it, it sounded like the ocean to me. And at the very, very end of it, it sounded like movement, like I don't necessarily want to say human movement, but it sounded like a presence, like movement next to me. So I thought that was a very cool experience. And then I never settled on a color. The light was just light colored, so like auburn, or not auburn, but gold, or whatever light is. And then
Okay.
my word was destined. That's what I kind of settled on. So that's what I walked into, and that felt pretty good.
Yes, that's powerful actually. Um I really find what you said about the different sounds that you took from this one instrument because it was just the sound stick. Like, I mean, the rain stick, literally. It's pretty big. I didn't get to show this to you all because I didn't know I was going to use it, but it actually, the more shells that are going down, it sounds like rain, and then the slower it goes, it sounds like the leaves rustling, and then at the end it's very light, and so I could see how you would get movement from that, and a presence. When I was shaking, usually when this sound is like rattling and it shakes, it has a type of spiritual experience, just because, if I don't know if you all know, but like just like Native Americans and other Afro cultures, like the shaking is really profound when it comes to like spiritual connection. So that's
Hmm.
cool that you felt like it was like a presence to you. It was like energy, basically.
Yeah.
So that's really dope. And the word destined, that's a powerful word. I would encourage everybody to meditate more or write it down, the words that you all thought of, and also the colors, because you may find some significance in it later on. Um, so when you always just ask, did you walk right into the light or did you hesitate before walking into the ball?
I went straight in.
Okay.
I was like, I went right into it.
Okay. That's awesome. Some people hesitate before they go in because they don't know what's in there. So that's also pretty telling, but that's really cool that you all trusted the process and you just went forward. So thank you for sharing that, Jasmine and John. Did you all have anything else? I always like to ask also, like, was there any sound that was startling to you all, like that kind of like shook you? Because that's on my end, that's kind of like administration stuff of the bowls. So I wanted to know that.
I don't think I was startled at all.
Okay.
Mm.
I wasn't startled. The one thing is that Zoom uh, would sometimes like affect how the sound came through, because sometimes every now it will cut in and out, and I can like
Mm-hmm.
I would catch that, but
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't anything on your end.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a port. It's something that you can use so that
Oh
the
yeah.
sound is not staggered like that, because the frequency can be so high that it like knocks out the sound in the
Mm.
computer. So yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I did want to add that you administrating it, your voice is very calming, and it matched very well with the experience.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've been practicing that, y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been getting that feedback lately, so I'm like, okay, I think I'm in my pocket right now. So
Excellent.
thanks for saying that.
No, it definitely was a calming. Like it went with the whole frequency and flow. So
Okay. I know I don't know why, but I'm always every time I do a sound experience with a group of people who look like me, I'm always led to say I am safe. So I don't say that in all of my sound experiences, but usually when it's us. So I just want to offer that to you all. Like, I don't know if you feel unsafe, in this body, in this society, in this world. But I do want to offer that truth and protection over you, because we are safe. We are safe in our bodies, and anxiety tends to make us believe that we're not. So I just want to say that, because I don't know, that's just a pretty prevalent thing across the board.
and then what got you into I have random questions, but
Oh,
like what
good.
got you into this exactly? Like what was the because I know there's different ways that you can get into this type of piece and um in my head it kind of was interesting because when I'm thinking of frequency, I think of like music therapy and
Mhm.
how people utilize that. So I'm just kind of curious on how you found this and like if you do this on your own for yourself as well or how that.
Mhm. That's a great question. Well, I'm actually a therapist, so mental health therapy. I've been doing that for a while now, working with kids, and I was finding that not everybody is, uh, how can I say, is connected to the traditional form of therapy or healing in the therapy room. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what else can I do to help people, because not everybody is like, let's go to therapy. So I'm also an artist. So I started to do like advocacy work through my art. And I started to talk about emotional awareness and mental health awareness. And then through this pandemic, I realized that I wanted to do something a little bit more powerful, and it just kind of aligned itself. The lady who does the sound healing course, I met her last year. Been following her for a while, and she was offering a course during quarantine, and so I was like, this would be the perfect time for me to sharpen my skills as a healer, and then also be able to offer this, because I can legally say that this is sound therapy because I'm a therapist. So it was going to be something that I offer also with my therapeutic practice as a therapist, but I took a step back from the therapy room, so I'm not doing that right now. And this was something that I really wanted to invest in. And so I took the courses during quarantine. It was great. Um, and I've been doing it ever since. I've always done meditation because that was a part of anxiety, depressive symptoms, management of things like that with little kids and adults. But I never tied it into something like this. So that's really like my story.
And then do you do individual sessions too, or?
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I do individual, I do group, and hopefully I'll be doing yoga with it soon, but I'm working to get certified in that. And then I do mental health coaching as well. And you asked, do I do this on myself? Yes, I do. That's a form of practice for me, but then it's also a spiritual practice for myself. So I do consider myself Christian. And so I play usually like with Christian music or gospel music. That's like my personal practice that I do when I pray, or just when I'm like sitting in quiet time. But yeah. Anything else? I'm not sure who this person is, Mad Lamb. Do you know who that is, Jasmine?
No, I do not.
Oh,
I know I saw them on the sheet though.
I feel like they may not be there because nobody has said anything. Um, that's cool. But I just wanted to make sure that they didn't have any questions. But I mean, I did pretty good with the time. When were we supposed to? We were supposed to hop back on at 7:05, right?
Um, yes, I know I set it for 90 minutes, so it technically has 13 minutes left, but we're able to go to the other room, and if people don't mind just taking like a little break and
Mhm.
waiting till the rest of everybody joins.
Okay. Well, my Instagram, I will tell you all that is Ebony Black, and the L is a 1, and you can reach me there if you have any other questions or you want to book your own individual sound healing session. The individual sessions are a little different than group sessions. We have a little bit more time to just like process and talk about what you may be experiencing before we go into it. Um, and then I also have like packages if you want to do like a monthly package where you can do a certain number of sound sessions just to stay consistent. But yeah, or you could just follow me and look at my stuff that I post because I post cool stuff, I think.
I follow, well, I gotta follow you. It's perfect. Actually, and then I have like my side questions because since I'm into, of course, into mental like health and wellness and whatnot, I'm curious of the mental health coaching.
Oh,
How you get
yes.
into that because that sounds nice.
Yeah, I do it for a company called Ginger. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're based out of San Francisco, but it's all like virtual based, and they basically contract with like big Fortune 500 companies or like established small businesses, and
Mhm.
they offer the service to their employees. And so it's a text based service, but they also offer virtual therapy and virtual psychology and psychiatry. So that's what I do now
That's
as I
nice.
take my little, I guess it's a sabbatical from the traditional form of therapy.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. It's interesting how people are very comfortable texting,
Yeah.
or like like working through an app and talking to people. Like it's like pretty normal now.
Especially the newer generation, like we're more tech savvy and
Mhm.
everybody, I feel like it kind of reminds me how, how like people will say like your online presence is a little louder than you in person. So I feel like it can be the same thing where you're voicing a lot more via
Mm-hmm.
text
Yeah.
than probably speaking to somebody. You kind of feel a little bit more closed in.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think people are just like more confident behind the screen to like say what they're going through and to seek out help. I think that's what it is too.
I was like, I am one of those people.
Oh, hey,
Uh,
whatever
I mean,
works.
I feel like I am able to talk in person, but at the same time, I think I can voice myself a lot better via text or just,
Sometimes it's easier.
yeah.
But yeah, if you have any if you have any other questions about that, like definitely let me know. And you in Atlanta too, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so we good.
Yep. No, no, trust me, we're staying in contact here. I have
Yes.
so many questions, and also this is like just this because I went to Spelman and they now incorporate sound they have a class for it now. It's around sound healing, but they also include like aromas and
Like a
I don't know.
pocket.
I didn't get to have like the full discussion with the person there, but I did get to see the end of the class and they had like all the mats laid out and she was in the front with her bowls and a couple scents for the room and it was just like dimly lit and they didn't have
Wow.
it when I was there, but they have it now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. I had no idea. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah. They've been like they're because they changed their they no longer have PE or like physical education or any of that. Now they have women's wellness.
Oh wow.
So they're focused on the wellness of their students and trying to find different ways to have a lifelong, I guess, skills around wellness. So
That's great. Wow. I really gonna have to look into that. John, where are you located?
I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
Oh, okay.
so I'm quite further north than both of you.
Oh, that's dope. I never been to Pennsylvania.
It's a cool place to check out. Pittsburgh is sort of second to Philadelphia, I think, when people think about checking out Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a bit more landlocked, so it's kind of out there.
Mm.
But yeah, Philadelphia and Pennsylvania as a whole. It's a cool place. It's got character. It's got interesting things. Check out.
Okay. Or
But
is that where you're from?
no, it's not where I'm from. I'm here for work. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland, so
Oh, okay. I was okay.
still
Yeah.
still up north. I wouldn't suggest coming to visit now. Like we just got snow, so it's cold. Unless you're like a big fan of the cold, I would
Mm-mm.
suggest now. I'd wait.
Well, I will put that on my list. I've never even thought to Pittsburgh. I never even thought that would.
I don't think
Right.
anybody says Pittsburgh. It's on there.
But that's lit though. That's a new place. How long have you been there?
Now it will be a year and a half or so.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, it's been an experience. I don't anticipate staying here indefinitely.
Mm.
But it was, like I said, for work. So I had something pulling me out here. So spent a year and a half, maybe a little bit longer here.
Hmm.
Get a different experience. Tack that on
Yeah.
to my resume of experiences, and then keep it moving.
Yeah. No, that's. I mean, that's cool. So, are you liking Maryland better? Like, you think you'll probably go back to Maryland?
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, right now a I don't have a particular I guess goal to go back to Maryland and stay there full
Mhm.
time. I'm in a period right now where a lot of things are taking shape. So Jasmine's word of clarity was great. I feel like I'm getting a lot of clarity right now, and that's really going to guide my next steps in terms of where I go next on my path and on my journey. So,
Mm.
yeah, we'll see. We'll
I'm
see
just gonna
how
put
it all
out
takes shape.
weirdo. That's my boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. It's
Okay, so we
Ebony. I
get
can have.
clarity.
I was like, shoot, now we can both have these sessions though.
It's like, did I seem too comfortable on the call?
I was like, I feel like I should say something.
Okay, now I get it. We getting clarity. We might, change location.
Right, all of these things, they're all coming to fruition right now. So yeah, in terms of where I'll end up, I don't know that I can say for certain, like what geographical location that will be, but
Mhm.
with all the clarity, I'm sure that that decision will
Okay.
manifest itself pretty soon.
That's good. Yeah, because this pandemic has been a lot, and I know a lot of people are anticipating the new president, and then like, is that going to mean another shutdown? And then it's just like a whole lot of stuff is still kind of like up in the air.
Hmm.
Wait, what
Yeah,
is the?
there's been a lot of uncertainty, um, but all in all, I think everything is moving. Well, things are moving forward, so that's great. But at the same time, I think it's also brought a lot of spiritual like reawakening, as well as just reawakening in general, to
Mm-hmm.
kind of have things shaken up, and you have to look at your priorities and what's important to you, and kind of remember that things always going seemingly uh, smoothly isn't necessarily reality. I think reality is like a lot of uncertainty and chaos. So
Mm-hmm.
um,
I
being
feel like
able to
this
manage that
pandemic,
is important.
Yeah.
sorry.
No, never mind. Go ahead. I was done.
I was just saying that I feel like this pandemic has like given a lot of like time to reflect though at the same time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like this is probably the most productive year I've had. And I
I
mean,
think a lot of people can say that too.
yeah, it's just like, it's kind of like and I know this isn't for everybody, but I feel like we all got put under pressure in a
Mm-hmm.
certain way. And so now we're all like adjusting and trying to figure out like the way to adjust to this. And, some people are, just learning more about themselves through it, which I think is always like the greatest thing you can do. And so once you start learning more about yourself, then you start growing in your things. And, because if you think about it, like even for you and the doing like sound healing, like you're saying that you got to do this, during the pandemic, which is like, who knows what you could have been capable of without it. But at the same time, it's like there's these opportunities that keep showing up that really, I don't know. I feel like I've watched a lot of people grow over this time, even though, I mean, yeah, it sucks, but there's been some like rainbows in the
Mm-hmm.
storm.
No, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I don't know how I was getting up going to work 9 to 5 every day, sometimes 9 to 6.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know how I was doing that. But I was doing it because it was just like, this is what you do. Um, but coming out of it, having to work from home and learn how to do therapy virtually all of a sudden when nobody really knew what that was going to look like with kids, it was just like, wow, this is a shift.
Hmm.
So you're right. Yeah, it made me reevaluate like, what was I doing before the pandemic happened? Like, what was the quality of life, work life balance? Like, I don't know.
You said it, that whole like the idea of getting back up and having to go somewhere to be there at that time rather than me waking up out of bed and logging in.
It's just like, whew.
I fear that day, to be honest. I will be very late.
I, I'd be late. I used to always be late when I was doing that. So I'm like, I already know if I was to go back now, I would be like struggling. I would really be struggling. But I'm grateful for this opportunity to build and figure out what entrepreneurship looks like again, on a greater scale, because so many people are looking for health and wellness. And I think that's super important right now, like more than any time. Like, I think
Hmm.
right now is that time.
No, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Next.
All right. So, thank you all again for joining the different breakout sessions. I think we technically we're done, but we wanted to leave some time for any last minute questions or comments that anyone wants to make.
I know Ebony gave her Instagram. Bria, can I have yours as well? Or for like an Instagram or contact or
Yeah, we can definitely plug everybody at the end of this.
oh, she just has something.
Um, I guess Ebony or Bria, did you want to make any closing comments or announcements about your different sessions?
Um, um, like just in general.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
okay. I think it went great. I had, I felt, I felt a flow. Um, we had great conversation afterwards. Just like sharing the experience, and I was able to push myself during my facilitation of the sound ball. So that felt good to do that. And yeah, I think it was awesome. I told them that while I was doing the sound experience, for some reason the most consistent affirmation that comes up for me is I am safe, and that usually comes up when I'm working with people who look like me. Um, so I just wanted to offer that to you all. I don't know if anybody is feeling unsafe in their bodies as black and brown bodies, but I just wanted to say that you are safe in your body, and anxiety cannot dictate or tell you otherwise.
that's great. Bria, did you have anything to close?
I'll just say that I'm grateful for this space. And just a gentle reminder that, every day is you have an opportunity to start over. So releasing your connection to the right now within being present, finding the balance of being in the now, but also not like taking everything so serious, because it's like we have an idea to make goals, and we can kind of choose certain things, but just trusting that our higher source will give us everything we need. So if we wanted to go right, but you're feeling a pull to go left, like kind of listen to yourself. So continue to like Ebony was saying, like trust yourself and feel safe, and find the grounding within yourself to just know exactly what it is that you need.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm grateful. I feel good
Mm-hmm.
being in this space. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I want to thank you both again for just joining in here and um, participating in this series that we built. I think both of these women, Bria and Ebony, they are, Black professionals. They are Black entrepreneurs. So another part of this is just, lifting up those people within our community that we can support, especially during this time. So, um, Jasmine, you mentioned giving out their Instagrams. If you can go ahead and announce that, and then
They put, well, I know I put one in the chat, but I don't know if everybody can see it. But I put Ebony's is Ebony Black with one as the L, and then Bria's is Musa Moon. I feel like I'm not saying
Moose
that
the
right.
Moon.
Musa Moon.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna put Ebony's in here just in case it only showed up in my original one. But But yeah, so I think tis all. I feel like there was another question I had, but I'm gonna leave it.
It'll come up if the spirit says it'll come back.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, today's Giving Tuesday, so another also big thing to support if you can. Just think of things. Since we mentioned that real quick, I thought I should also encourage the fact that it's Giving Tuesday.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, so give where you can. Obviously, we all have different means, but a part of making this series free is this is something that we want to give to you all. But if you can support someone else in another way that's significant, we encourage you to do so.
Yes.
All right. Well, if for the participants, are there any other last minute questions or comments or feedback?
I wanted to say, with the Giving Tuesday, I am like feeling called, and I put something on social media. But if any of you guys know like a mom or a child that I could kind of sponsor for this season, if you know like a child that's in need or children in need, if you can just send me a message, and I would love to put things together and gather things. So that's something that I'm looking for someone to be able to support.
Just as a participant, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity and the session. It was excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, John. All right. If there's nobody else that has anything they'd like to share, we just want to thank you again for spending, this better half of your evening with us, and we hope that you learned something today, that you feel like you're leaving here a little bit lighter than when you came, and we hope that you'll join us for some of our future events. So stay tuned. All right.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.